What?
Subscribe.
Subscribe. We'll highlight all that. Don't you worry.
I'm just
But of
saying,
course,
you gotta remind people.
Subscribe right now.
Subscribe.
subscribe. Of course.
Philadelphia, baby, you're gonna love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
All right. So one, Tiger Woods is lucky he broke this during March Madness. It's not gonna blow up like it would if he would have dropped this today.
I'm sorry
Also,
though. It did still sort of blow up.
It did, but not only was March Madness ahead of him, guy dunking his face in ice water was ahead of him too.
Can we get sponsored by the Saratoga Water Company? What I would do?
Hey,
to just crank in the bottle.
If I gotta dunk my face in ice water before every podcast for them to sponsor us, sign me up.
I'm gonna do So I before we talk about Tiger here, I'm getting fit for clubs on Friday, and I'm gonna vlog like my day in the life, and I'm going to do that video. I'm not gonna buy the Saratoga water. What I might do, I might buy one bottle, and then like refill it and just pour it. And I'll do that.
You should just do it with sink water.
Well, yeah, but
that would be funnier.
But I still have to buy the bottle.
No,
at least one of them.
I watched somebody do it today. They dunked their face in milk and donuts.
Should I dunk my face in the apples like the kids popping for apples? You pop for apples in the toilet, and you like it.
So Tiger got lucky that it was March Madness and a guy was dunking his face in ice water multiple times within a 5-hour time period, according to his little video that has almost 1 billion views on Twitter. So Tiger Woods hard launch with Donnie Trump Jr.'s ex-wife. Somebody on Twitter at Deva Hazarika, who's like San Francisco tech guy, hey, if you want to invest in our company, hit my line. Quote tweeted the video or the pictures, I'm sorry, with Mrs. Former Donnie Trump Jr.'s dating history. And it is the Mad Lib choose your own adventure of a lifetime. So
it
Ethan,
truly
obviously
is insane.
It's nuts. So obviously, she was married to Donald Trump Jr., and this occurred in 2005. But I'm going to read you her dating history list, courtesy of Deva Hazarika, and I cannot wait to see your reactions to the talk about range that this woman has.
Now, full disclosure, I know this. I know Ethan doesn't.
Right.
So
this is Ethan's first reaction to the list. So Ethan, documented dating history of one former Mrs. Donnie Trump Jr., now dating Tiger Woods. During her teenage years, Vanessa dated local street gangster Valentin Rivera, a member of the violent gang Latin Kings.
Like one of the most violent gangs in all of Los Angeles.
Part of the big three, if you will.
Yeah.
She went from Mr. Valentin Rivera, though. This is where the range kicks in. She should be part of the range goats. Because she is a range goat. In 1998, Vanessa was linked with American actor Leonardo DiCaprio. Now, Steve, if you don't mind, while I continue reading off these lists, if you could potentially find how old Miss Vanessa is and how old she would have been in 1998 for me, that would be
yes,
fantastic for this lore. So she had 98 Leo, Ethan, which is Titanic era Leonardo DiCaprio, like peak Leo.
Yeah, that's good Leo.
Good Leo is an understatement there.
That's Leo. That's Leo before it was weird when he was dating the 19 to 22-year-olds.
Right, before Leo's range absolutely dipped.
So, no, that was it. Was she above that range? I'm pretty
sure. That's why I need Steve to figure out
Oh, because I'm
Because
pretty sure
this could be a huge piece of the puzzle.
He really only dates people like I'm pretty sure it's like 18 to 23. I think 23 is like, and then he like dumps them at the latest.
Well, so Leo's 50 now. He was born in 74. Vanessa's 47. She was born in 77. So they're
even in
3 years apart.
Even in 98, Leo was still sticking to his range, man. Crazy
How old
stuff.
was she?
Well, in 1998, she was 21 years old.
Oh yeah.
That's
what about wait, check how old, like what's the range? What is the actual range? I want to know.
So Leo would have been what, 24?
Am I going to Leo was 24.
And I think Leo goes from 19 to 25, I think is the
I think it's younger than 25.
25 is like the oldest he's ever like been with, I think, on record.
Might I add, I'm doing this show on my work laptop. People are going to be questioning why I'm looking up Leonardo DiCaprio dating history ages. This is going to be
that's incredible.
This is going to be a show. Yeah. So Giselle, he dated when she was in her early 20s from 2005, pre Brady. Bar Rafaela was early 20s as well. She was 22. Blake Lively, the oldest he ever had was 26 in 2011.
So Blake Lively ruined him
for 5 years. Camilla Morone dated her when she was 20 years old. They broke up after 5 years, a week before her 25th birthday. And now Vittoria Soretti, she's 26. Well, sorry, when they were like spotted together, she was 26 at the time. So they're probably not together.
Oh yeah, she's long gone.
And then all of his other relationships, including Nina Agdal, Eden Polani, Helena Christensen, all under the age of 24 at the time.
There you go. So Blake Lively kickstarted it. Lady Deadpool of all people.
I wonder where he finds them. Like, how does he keep just like?
I mean, I don't think he needs to find anybody. They find him.
Yeah.
Look, we talk enough about how like I forget who the athletes are, but like the constant things of like athletes sliding into random girls' DMs. I knew a girl in high school who her older sister was dating Noah Syndergaard pre New York Mets, like when he was playing in Binghamton, and she was a college student. He was 25 years old, and found her like on like Tinder at the University of Binghamton. I was like, "Yo, hey, what's up?" Like
that's pre Alex Cooper.
By the way, you know who is actually on Tinder actively? One Victor Hovland. And somebody has his Tinder account. Somebody has his Tinder account and has posted it on social media, and it's all photos of him golfing, which makes it really funny, and holding his trophies.
He's treating Tinder like it's LinkedIn. What a beast. All right, so back to the dating history. So after being linked to Leo in 98, Miss Vanessa from 1998 to 2001, Ethan. Now, 2001 is a key year for you to remember in the back of your head here as I continue reading. Vanessa dated Saudi Prince Khalid bin Bandar bin Sultan Al Saud.
So that
the relationship ended in 2001, however, when Khalid bin Bandar left the U.S. after his Saudi ambassador father, Bandar bin Sultan Al Saud, was suspected of having indirect ties to individuals linked with the Al-Qaeda hijackers.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, bin Laden was like a part of that family.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
The entire family were all co-conspirators of 9/11.
And then on November 12th.
I mean, technically they left, so.
Say whatever you want about it. I mean, they were part of.
What did the Sopranos do? You never leave the family.
Oh my God.
And then on November 12th, 2005, Vanessa married Donald Trump Jr. The wedding was held at the Mar-a-Lago Club in Florida. The service was officiated by Trump Jr.'s aunt, Judge Marianne Trump Barry. Trump Jr. had proposed to her with a U.S. $100,000 ring, equivalent to $161,000 in 2024, that he had received as a gift from a jeweler in exchange for proposing to her in front of paparazzi outside of the jeweler's store at the Short Hills Mall in New Jersey. And now, as of March 23rd, 2025, she is now dating one Tiger Woods.
I think the only funnier part in all of this is that if you go on Vanessa Trump's Facebook Wikipedia page, it legitimately says partners Khalid bin Bandar Al Saud, 1998 to 01, and then Tiger Woods. Side by side, somewhere on Wikipedia, Tiger Woods is next to a former Saudi prince.
Wait, like when they like leave the family, is it not like the English where they like cut all ties and shit?
You never leave that kind of stuff.
So on top
it's
of
like trying to leave the Bloods, like you never really leave it.
Well, in this case, the Latin Kings.
Horrible.
Here's the one thing, though. We were talking about this earlier today, Steve. We find it very interesting that one Vanessa Trump, they got divorced in 2018, her and Donnie Jr.
Yeah.
She's still going by Vanessa Trump. Very weird move.
Yeah.
You would think you get divorced, you kind of go back to the maiden name.
Well, how long were they married?
From 2005 to 2018.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Here's the other part, Ethan, that I can't wait for this to hit the internet because I am going to repost it with the fastest. Who could have seen this coming? You know who Vanessa's daughter is, right, Ethan? That would be one Kai Trump,
who happens to be one of the top amateur golfers in the world.
Kai Trump is going to be the first female ambassador of Sunday Red faster than anything to ever hit the planet. And I cannot wait to
bet on that. Make a futures bet on that.
I would hammer that because it's going to hit like crack when that comes across the timeline because I'm going to be all over it. And I can already guarantee the fucking official Republican account on social media is going to twist it into being like the color of Kai Trump, Sunday Red, always back the red. I can see it now. The way that these doofuses run these social media accounts that are official, like political accounts, not to mention like we have group chats getting sent to like editors of the Atlantic about political dealings, which hit the timeline today, which is just the hilarious state of the country. But Kai Trump is going to be the face of Sunday Red before we know it. And I just want everyone to know you heard it here first, as first reported by the Get in the Hole podcast on the Underground Sports Philadelphia Podcast Network. Kai Trump's going to be wearing Sunday Red. You heard it here first.
I can't wait until we see the Sunday Red X MAGA collab.
It's going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen.
That would be the wildest thing.
It's going to be like the Tiger logo leaping between a 45 and a 47.
The Tiger logo leaping over the border.
The Tiger logo leaping into Vanessa's arms.
Oh, my Christ. No,
but also on top of that, the hilarity in hard launching your relationship that nobody saw coming and then asking for privacy on your social media accounts that have millions and millions of followers.
6.4 to be exact.
Is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. I need to do a little math because I'm sure it's on Instagram as well.
That post that was posted a day ago, actually right around now, yesterday, has 7.9 thousand comments, 8.5 thousand retweets, 104,000 likes, and 35 million views.
So on top of that, 6.4 million is Tiger's just following on Twitter. Tiger also has an additional 3.6 million on Instagram. So 10 million people he indirectly asked to respect their privacy as they hard launch their relationship. One of the funniest things I've ever seen.
In the words of one Dave Portnoy, Tiger Woods announcing that he's dating Donnie Jr.'s ex-hus. and then asking for privacy is the most ridiculous request on earth.
The
Apparently,
Instagram post too has 434,000 likes, 9,368 comments, and 158,000 shares.
I don't know if this is true or not, but I saw a rumor that apparently, on behalf of now Vanessa Trump's got 5 kids outside of Kai and like their one other daughter who I saw this on TikTok. Someone was talking about it because people want to expose Trump for everything. Apparently, one of Vanessa's other daughters, Tiffany Trump, had her nudes leaked, and she addressed the allegations on TikTok. Which, like, there's so many other ways that you can go about this. But no, I'm going to go on my personal TikTok in my bedroom and address the fact that I have nudes out. I'm pretty sure she is over 18 anyways, so like probably just like a data leak. But amongst the other kids, who I don't know who they are, I heard a rumor that Tiger sought out Don Jr. to be like, is this okay that I date your ex-wife? That immediately sent me to the movie Just Go With It with Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston. When Brooklyn Decker was like, "Oh yeah, no, I need to make sure that like it's okay because like you have kids," and he's like, "Oh shit!" Now he's making up the other storylines. Oh god!
Of course, Happy Gilmore's tied into it.
Happy Gilmore dropping July 25th on Netflix. Check it out.
But on top of that, are all 5 kids Donnie Jr.'s kids?
I have
is
no
that
idea.
A known or unknown fact?
Oh, one of the other kids is Donald Trump III.
Okay.
So we know there's Kai, there's Tiffany, there's Donnie 3.
Who are the other 2? We need Maury on the case.
Maury? Who's Maury? Maury Povich? Also, by the way, Ethan, you want some insight into how Vanessa met Don Jr. Vanessa appeared in not multiple, one singular episode of The Apprentice, and she met Don Jr. on the set, and they fell in love.
Wow.
So, yeah,
It's so funny.
she also released her own line of handbags from 2010 to 2013, having multiple recalls for lawsuits against faulty material and overpriced markups.
So, according to Wikipedia, they began their relationship, Vanessa Trump and Tiger Woods, in November of 2024 and went public March 2025.
Since 5 months?
When was Tiger at that Presidential Medal of Freedom or whatever it was that he got?
Was that like hold on. Let's do some more research here.
I love going down these fucking like
the Medal of Freedom ceremony. Oh, this is a while ago, dude. This is 2019.
No, I know that happened, but there was a new thing when he was like he like got something. Oh, it was Black History Month. He was wearing the medal. It was for like a Black History Month event.
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah.
So that was in February.
Yeah. Also, here's a fun one that you could just find randomly on the internet. A story posted by The Telegraph. How Tiger Woods became part of Trump's inner circle. A whole story. Oh, I gotta really sign up for free. Stupid. How about what Newsweek is saying?
How long until Donnie Jr. invests in Jupiter Links?
Invest in Tiger Woods' like whole golf venture?
Or how long until Kai is playing a celebrity game for Jupiter Links?
It's insane. Do we have? There has to be other like news on this.
I still can't get over the fact that Donnie Jr. proposed in front of the Short Hills Mall.
And I apologize. Tiffany Trump is not one of the 5 kids. It's actually there's Kai, there's Donald III, there's Tristan, Spencer, and Chloe. I guess Tiffany's another one of the Trump kids from probably from Ivanka, I would assume. Let's see. Yeah, I don't have any other like additional information on anything here, but apparently like Trump and Tiger have been close like for a while, and like for a couple of reasons. But we're definitely gonna have to dig a little deeper into all of this stuff.
That does not shock me in the slightest.
So I had a thought the other day about like the state of the world, and you know how like we debate the Illuminati like exists.
Here goes this episode on YouTube.
So I was talking to my friend Grant about this. This had been like 5 or 6 months ago. We were driving to Notre Dame, Indiana. So like obviously when you're in a 9.5-hour car ride, you start to talk about things. And I'm like, what do you think about the idea that like there's a secret cabal of people that's just like running the country, like the Illuminati? And it was around the time that Diddy was getting caught up on everything. And my friend Nicole was telling me all about how apparently like there's a whole thing with how the DOJ doesn't want to prosecute all the celebrities in Hollywood because they have more important things to do than put 500 celebrities in jail for child sex abuse and trafficking. And I'm like, well, like the same thing happened with the Epstein list, right? Like the Epstein list came out and no one heard about it afterwards. So like, what if this is just like the cabal of people that are running the country? What if Tiger Woods and Donald Trump are two of the lead figureheads within the sports department and the politics and business world of the Illuminati? And then also the same thing is like, why does every single artist always thank Beyonce at their Grammy speeches? Every single time.
Steve, you're gonna have a knock at your door before you know it.
I probably am. Yeah. Keiko, shut up. This is my house too. I'm uncovering the secrets of the world over here, and you're telling me to shut up? She goes, "Yep."
Steve's gonna wind up at night at the museum, shrunken down with Ben Stiller.
You know, actually, you want to laugh? Spoiler alert: I think Kay in my costume for this Halloween is going to be Octavius and Jebediah from Night at the Museum. Yeah,
it's good. Speaking of Ben Stiller, I have not watched Severance.
Oh my god, dude, it is so good.
Send me your Apple TV account, Ethan.
It's on my list.
I don't have one.
Send us your friends.
It's on my list of things to do, but
he has one.
I can't get enough of the videos of the drum line coming out and people just dubbing over.
Milkshake is my favorite character in season 2.
People just dubbing over different songs and it just syncing up perfectly. Like they did the March Madness song and I was pissing myself laughing.
I still haven't seen any ounce of Severance, and I need to I need to watch it. Like I should. My mom texted my group chat and she's like, "Should we get Apple TV?" I think there's great shows on there. You should totally get it. And then send me your password when you get it.
That I'm watching Surface. That's pretty good.
What's that?
That's about like a person that lost her memory and then has to figure stuff out. And then like a bunch of random shit, like crazy shit happens. The morning show's really good.
Okay.
Shrinking is pretty good.
I heard there's one called The Silo that was on like
my dad loved it
over a year ago. I've been meaning to watch that, and then once I finished Ted Lasso, I canceled the sub.
Oh, Ted Lasso's great.
I should have watched that. I'm gonna probably have to rewatch Ted Lasso too.
Ted Lasso's coming out with season 4, so
you know what? I'll figure out a time in order to re-download Apple TV and figure it into the finances. But
you know what you should get? Hacked Fire Stick. My brother got one of those for our house at home. You get anything, any movie,
so easy to do.
TV show, live TV. It's great.
I
want to get one for my room, like dorm room. Huh?
It's so easy to hack,
and it's only like $20, or not 20, like $40 for it. You only have to buy it and then hack it.
You might be convincing me to do this if I could save the money. I actually had a world-class trade. I pulled off maybe the greatest trade since the Luka trade. My friend works for CBS Sports, and I'm like, hey, it's March Madness. Can someone send me their CBS like Paramount Plus account? And he goes, "Oh, I work for CBS. I'll give it to you. Can I have like something you got?" I go, "Yeah, you got my Netflix." And he goes, "Aren't they cracking down on that?" I go, I haven't found out yet." He's like, "All right, deal." Sends me the Paramount Plus. I just send him the Netflix. Bang! One day he's gone, and I'm like, I have the account. It's saved in all the keychains.
That's great.
And it's the premium account with Showtime and the whole bunch. It's actually a great segue into the beginning of the show.
Which, I mean, hey, if you're a student right now, you can sign up for Paramount Plus using our link in the description, and just using your student email, you get 50% off any Paramount Plus plan now through the end of March Madness. Sign up for Paramount Plus, use our link in the description to do it, and you'll get 50% off any Paramount Plus plan now through the end of March Madness.
I think this just means that it's now time to officially launch the show, and we get it into the granddaddy of them all.
Bang.
Just acknowledge the greatness that is this video. Just actually incredible.
That's ridiculous.
Him in the rocking chair might be the best thing of all time.
It's so absurd.
So yeah, so that is the legend of one where is he? Of one Victor Hovland. And I think that's just a tremendous way to start off an absolutely excellent show live from the underground. It is Get in the Hole. KB sitting in for Ben this week. Ethan Hogan and myself, Steve McAvoy. Welcome in to another great episode live from the underground, streaming live on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or wherever you get your favorite shows. And we have a packed, jam-loaded show. We're talking LIV, PGA, and possibly one of the greatest autographs you will ever see in your entire life. Before we get into all of that, want to give another shout out to our awesome merch partners and sponsors. We already mentioned Paramount Plus. Go check them out as March Madness pushes on. You can get in on all the action at the link in our description. Also, our boys at 47 brand keeping it going with some sick apparel and hats. They actually just released their new opening day line, which looks absolutely insane. They have some pretty cool throwback Philadelphia Philly stuff that I know that KB is going to be buying in probably in the next 10 minutes. Absolutely worth the look. I'm certainly getting in on all the good stuff for the Mets. I got to get a new hat for that. Probably going to end up buying a crew neck for the Rangers soon, as they're going on sale soon. Nick's gear is going to be in full tap from the playoffs. So a lot of good stuff happening. And of course, their golf lines, keeping you calm and cool on both the driving range, on the first tee, 18th hole, on the green, wherever you might be on that course, even at the halfway house, getting those good old hot dogs. Check them out. Link in our description. 47 brand, the absolute best in the apparel game. Let's get right into the nuts and bolts as we start off with our shout outs of the week. And here goes another ad read, right? We're starting off strong with the ads. Keep bringing us the partners. Shout out to Acorn Hills. Kay actually made fun of me today. She goes, you know, like you've been meaning to buy more Acorn Hill stuff, and you've been hyping them up on the show, but you haven't done it yet. And I'm like, well, the paycheck just hit. We're getting ready for media day on Thursday. We're ready to go. I got my stuff. I'm probably gonna have to order more, and even more excited for when it rolls around come May. We can go to the Truist. We can rock our Acorn Hills. We can look the absolute best in some really dope apparel, quarter zips, polos, t-shirts, hats, ball markers, you name it, they got it. Some of the best clothing, all using recycled materials, plantable clothing tags, and packaging. For every dollar spent, the National Forest Foundation will plant a seedling to promote afforestation across the United States. Be sure to use code GITH15. That's Get in the Hole 15 for 15% off your next order at acornhillsco.com. Again, GITH15 for 15% off your next order at acornhills.co. And look your best from the ground up. A special shouts to start the show off. And we begin, of course, with Victor Hovland, who I got to give KB a ton of credit. On Saturday, turns to me as he's, I think, T2 at that point, or T4, because there was multiple
T4
guys first. And he goes, yo, hey, Victor Hovland looking pretty good at what did you have him at? Like 8-1?
He was, I think, plus 900 at the time.
Yeah, so it's a solid 9-1, and of course my dumbass goes, "Oh no, I put the money on either Nico or JT." JT actually, believe it or not, has been on an absolute like bender, and I thought that he'd pull it out. But of course, Viktor Hovland, 1-stroke win over Justin Thomas, over the rest of the field, captured his first win since, believe it or not, the 2023 Tour Championship. Ever since that week in Atlanta, his game is kind of like fumbled deep. I was looking at the data golf numbers on him. December 11th, 2023, like the tail end of 2023, he was the second ranked data golf player in the world. He's now all the way down to 29th. He was prior to the end of tournament play this week, 46th. He's now up to 29th. So has taken a complete nosedive on the entire year. But you know what? Golf is better when Viktor Hovland is really good. And golf is better when Justin Thomas is good and Colin Morikawa is good. And we've got a really good base now heading into major season. Hopefully Victor's off the schneid. We're going to talk more about it on the other side. But talking about like who's hot and who's not, right? Viktor Hovland was on a really, really rough stretch. You look at his numbers over the last even 5 weeks, right? Missed the cut in 3 straight events, the Genesis, the Arnold Palmer, and the Players. Something was always going right, but something was always going wrong, right? He was gaining almost 2.5 strokes on approach at the Arnold Palmer, but he was losing just as many, if not more, on the putting green. He was gaining a stroke and a half on approach, but he was losing a stroke and a half off the tee. You go back to the Genesis, was gaining a half a stroke on approach, almost a stroke off the tee, but was losing 1.5 strokes around the green. Something like this is the week that finally things turned for him. It's the first time that he's had a strokes gain total over 2 since the Tour Championship in 2024. It's the first time he's had a strokes gain total over 3 since the FedEx St. Jude of last year, too. So finally is back on a good peak. Wasn't particularly great off the tee. A lot of what he did well this week was based on his approach play and his putting. The putter was just dominant. The approach play was top notch. He's in like the 98th percentile of guys on approach this year, but just like nothing else has gone his way. Hopefully that this means a good turn come major season. Usually guys who heat up now tend to show pretty good promise. I don't know if he's going to play the Houston Open or if he'll play the Valero next week, but we'll certainly see him teeing it up at Augusta in only 3 weeks. It's crazy how we're like right there, so close.
It's wild. But yeah, shout out to me for having the intuition to know that Viktor Hovland was ready to rock and roll. I wish I would have taken him at plus 900, but I know if I would have, it wouldn't have happened. But still got him at a nice plus 190, nice little cash during the break in the madness that I was Zach Galifianakis at the poker table this weekend, everybody.
You were like Howie Ratner, just like playing the unders.
Dude, call me KB unders.
Every game, I shit you not, I'll get a text from KB at halftime like, "Oh, I'm playing the under at whatever number," and I'm like, I don't know how I thought. The only game where I said, I don't know, and I was proven right was the Wisconsin BYU game, and I actually tailed you and took the under.
And I think that's why it didn't hit. I just had to ride the unders by myself.
So naturally, what happens? KB makes $200. I lose.
I made more than that.
Oh God Almighty!
I during the McNeese game, I knew I had hit because I got that first basket from Shoemate. So I knew I had that waiting for me. It just took a while for it to cash. I was down to $3 in my DraftKings account. Shout out DraftKings, no free shout outs. I ended the weekend of 4 days of the opening weekend, which is historically one of the worst weekends for gamblers to lose money. I ended up with some change in my account.
Crazy. I will say I put in 50. I made probably like 70 total. So like I made back $20. Cool. That's like lunch one day. Largely on the back of just like picking the favorites. I had a parlay yesterday, $5 to win, I think like 700 with a parlay boost. I picked every single game correct but I picked the Illinois money line, and they absolutely boned me. Screw Kentucky. Screw Mark Pope. Lamont Butler, I love you, but screw you too. God, absolute joke. The Illini couldn't close. So unfortunate.
I think in the afternoon yesterday, I was just like, let me count this up. Throughout the weekend, during the afternoon slate, that does not include everything that happened post-afternoon, I was 36-31 in my bets, which is just absurd in March Madness.
I'm just gonna go back to betting Amen Thompson under threes. He's like the worst 3-point shooter in the NBA, and just catch the under a half three every time. And Jalen Duren 2 assists. That guy walks into assists easy.
Even that Florida race to 10, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna race them to 10 to get the easy cash and then get the profit boost cashed.
Ridiculous. The worst was probably I bet the under on Creighton and Auburn, and then I bet the over on Wisconsin BYU, and then bet the under on Gonzaga Houston, and the under missed on Gonzaga Houston by 2 points. 2 free throws late.
The amount of unders that I hit by
foul.
The amount of unders that I hit by half a point. I think I hit 4 of those.
So I was having an absolute meltdown watching these games. Also on the golf course, there were multiple other meltdowns. I wish I had the videos on hand. We could probably get a video and post. But who had the better meltdown this week? I don't know if you caught any of them. In frustration, Adam Hadwin took a golf club to a sprinkler head, unbeknownst to him, destroyed the sprinkler head. Saeed Tagala hit an errant iron shot on a par 3, flung the iron to his left, hit a tree, and almost hit a pedestrian. And then Patton Kizzire punted his putter, only to then withdraw about an hour after his round, citing back pain. And in the interview that he withdrew, said, yeah, probably because I punted my fucking putter.
Can I add an honorable mention of meltdown of the week? And it's fitting the outlet that this comes from. This comes from Trainwreck Sports. They do a great job covering Buffalo sports. Steve, Ethan, did you know Terry Pagula, who is the owner of the Buffalo Sabres, the Buffalo Bandits, and the Rochester Nighthawks, has less wins in 14 years as owner of the Buffalo Sabres, 432, than the people Bonnie Blue slept with in a single day, 1,057.
Is Bonnie Blue the porn star who holds the record for the most?
Yeah.
Of course, Ethan knows. Dirty dog.
My Instagram reels. Sorry.
I knew Ethan was at spring break.
Yeah, Ethan's too busy being a college kid and looking at watching OnlyFans.
Oh, okay. People that pay for that is actually dumb.
Because Ethan knows where you can get it all for free.
Yeah, 100%.
Hey, look. You know what? When you're recovering from jaw and rib pain, you got to find something to do.
I've been sleeping a ton.
Oh, I mean, honestly, I wish I could sleep. I'm always tired at this point. Enjoy college while you can. Take your naps.
Yeah,
I slept through 4 alarms this morning.
Good for you.
No, not great.
The day job got mad?
No, it was fine. I
All right,
still
good.
somehow got there only 5 minutes late.
Hey, you know what? I got stuck in an elevator for 45 minutes, and I was a half hour early to the wedding. Still shocked how I managed to do that.
Those photos are so electric.
Those are the greatest photos of all time. And now I get made fun of whenever I enter the elevator at work because I have to go in the elevator to get to my floor because it's considered a hazard to take the stairs. I don't know why. Dumb rules in Manhattan. And my coworkers make fun of me. The ones who are there, they're like, Steve, don't move. I get shit on.
I want to forget that phone call.
Want to give a anti shout out to Carlos Ortiz, Patrick Reed, and Jason Kokrak, 3 live staples. I don't know how I feel about this. I kind of want to be against them, but also I understand the whole premise of why they did it. So they played the international series in Macau, which is on the Asian circuit this week. They just so happened to have finished first, second, and third respectively in the event. Those 3 spots earned them status to play in the Open Championship of Royal Portrush in July. Is it unfair that because they don't have, even though the RNA has granted access to LIV golfers starting next year, is it unfair that the 3 of them went through this route as one of the very few tours they can legally play on in order to get access to the Open, instead of taking away 3 spots from 3 lesser-known Asian Tour golfers and in turn not growing the game?
I see where you're coming from. I agree with your points, but also, to play a little devil's advocate, are they technically growing the game because we're talking about it?
Well, they're growing the game in the aspect that they're bringing viewership to the Asian Tour, but I know in America you can't just view the Asian Tour, so maybe it's bringing eyeballs to Singapore, or I think Singapore where they're playing somewhere else, and you can see that, but otherwise, I don't think it's growing the game very much. I'd rather see 3 very random players who might have a amazing week and who might never have the opportunity to go play an Open Championship than see 3 guys who are, I don't even want to say past their prime, but Jason Kokrak has, since leaving the PGA Tour, has not done anything on LIV. Patrick Reed is getting older. Carlos Ortiz probably the most promising of the bunch, and even then, 3 names, and Reed is an exception because he's famous outside of it, but don't hear their names whatsoever, not even in LIV circles, but just in any golf circles after leaving the tour.
I feel like that's the case though with a lot of these LIV guys outside of Brooks and Bryson
and Rahm, yeah.
Rahm.
But even then though, right? Or Joaquin Neiman, but you're still in a softer field. If you're performing well enough, you might get some sort of talk. We still hear about Richard Bland and some of these other guys. I don't know where I stand on it totally. I kind of want to be against them because, again, this idea of growing the game, letting lesser known talent perform, but also people are going to come back and say, hey, you know what? We want to see players that we know their names in major championship fields, which fine, sure. If you're a casual fan like that, okay. But that's just the way that's just the way I see it. Speaking of which, another access to the Open Championship. Richard Mansell. This is a great story, probably one of the best ones of the week. Shout out to Monday Q Info for bringing this to light from me. Not a Monday qualifier kind of guy, not a mini tour player, but still significant. He turned pro back in 2017. He's a 29-year-old Brit. He played at Nova Southeastern down in Florida for his college golf. He earned his first win on the DP World Tour at 29 at the Porsche Singapore Classic for the Sunday round of 66. That gets him in for not only exemption on the DP World Tour for years to come, but access into the Open Championship amongst other exemptions through the DP World Tour. So shout out to Richard Mansell, a big win for a first timer. You don't see many of these stories coming out of the DP World Tour, I feel because our cycle is so heavily PGA. But when you do get to see these stories, it's always great to see the idea of growing the game and getting guys who you don't know about to be able to tell their stories, which I think is really significant and awesome.
Yeah, 100%.
Final thing this week, the birthday shout outs. I found myself in the rabbit hole, you know how you look back and you say, hey, who shares a birthday with me?
Oh yeah, you and I do that often,
all the time. I got curious, and we're recording today, March 24th. First of all, our happy birthday shout out this week goes to who was born today, celebrating his 47th birthday, former Auburn Tiger and 2013 PGA champion Jason Duffner turns 47 today. So shout out to the Duff. Also won the Memorial in 2017, 2 of his bigger accomplishments in his career. Certainly cheering on the Auburn Tigers too as they look to advance all the way to the Final Four and possibly win a title for Bruce Pearl, who also I've deemed the funniest head coach in all of college basketball. But
Before you keep going, Steve,
Yeah.
I do want to do something in the shadows. Ethan, when's your birthday?
You're muted, my friend. Hold on. Yeah, you're muted, brother.
October 13th.
Perfect.
All right, so you do that. I was looking at who Jason Duffner shares a birthday with, and today is a loaded birthday. On March 24th, we celebrate Peyton Manning, Jessica Chastain, Tommy Hilfiger, Blanco Brown, who, if you don't know him, is probably one of the greatest musical producers of all time now, who's also, I think, married to or is dating Selena Gomez, Steve McQueen, Jim Parsons, The Undertaker, Chris Bosh, and Harry Houdini. That's a loaded birthday list. Also celebrating birthdays this week.
Blanco Brown?
Yes. Sorry.
That's not Benny Blanco.
Shit. Blanco Brown's the guy who did the gonna do the two-step cowboy boogie. I always mix them up.
I was like, wait, that's Benny Blanco's government name?
No, Blanco Brown. It's the worst mix-up of all time. One guy had a TikTok hit. The other guy's one of the best producers in all of music. Shit. So we do country artist versus golfer on this show for KB. What are we gonna do for me? Pop culture superstar or random name that I made up. Also sharing birthdays this week on Tuesday. Scott Stallings turns 40. Not the guy who received the wrong invite for the Masters, but the real one who plays golf. And on Wednesday, two big creators share a birthday. Wesley Bryan turns 35 and Pace Baranek turns 32. So shouts to the creators out on Wednesday for their birthday. KB, let's give us the top 10 birthdays shared with Ethan Hogan.
So I'm still scrolling the list here to get like the elite names, because I've gone from using famous birthdays to on this day because it truly shows you everybody.
Oh my God, this is a great list.
As we once learned.
This is a great list.
So I'm also trying to find the names of people. Oh, this is amazing. Ethan shares a birthday with Nancy Kerrigan.
I was gonna say that. So, all right, hold on. So I have a bunch of names here. This is like insane. Born October 13th, Paul Simon, Jerry Rice, Sacha Baron Cohen, Ashanti, Paul Pierce, Caleb McLaughlin from Stranger Things,
Brian Dawkins,
AOC, Nancy Kerrigan, better Tanya Hardin, your ass.
Ian Thorpe, the Australian swimmer who had the rivalry with Michael Phelps.
Yep. Tiffany Trump, aforementioned. Tiffany Trump. God damn it! What a day. Margaret Thatcher. I think Paul Simon alone is sick. Jerry Jones.
Jerry.
Jeez. This is a great birthday.
Yo,
also, I hate how famous birthdays is just like all TikTokers now.
Did you say Jermaine O'Neal?
No.
Jermaine O'Neal, baby.
What are some of the top events to happen on October 13th? Let's find out.
Number 1, in the year 54.
Me being born.
Emperor Nero succeeds Claudius as the Roman emperor.
Oh no. And Rome burned shortly after. That is not fun. The Knights Templars were arrested by Philip IV in France. King Henry the Fourth, crowned the King of England. Okay. The Treaty of Trent was signed.
Cavalcade made its premiere in 1931 on Ethan's birthday.
That's actually insane. Mecca Falls. Let's see what else on here. The opponents of Fidel Castro in the 1960 Cuban election were executed.
Yes.
That's just insane. Okay. Jimi Hendrix. The Jimi Hendrix Experience rock trio debuts for the first time, which is sick.
The third presidential debate with Richard Nixon in Hollywood and Kennedy in New York happened on Ethan's birthday in 1960.
Neil Young underwent throat surgery. Here we go. One of the best albums ever released, 52nd Street by Billy Joel, was released on October 13th.
CBS Radio cancels House Party in 1967. The Seattle Supersonics lost their NBA debut game to the San Francisco Warriors in 1967.
The 1982 International Olympic Committee approves the reinstatement of Jim Thorpe's golds from the 1912 Olympics. GOAT.
Angela Davis was arrested in New York City in 1970.
What's some recent ones here? In 2002, Michael Schumacher won the Japanese Grand Prix and won the World Drivers' Championship.
1973, Badlands, directed by Terrence Malick and starring Martin Sheen and Sissy Spacek, premieres at the New York Film Festival.
And in 2012, Jason Mraz's single "I Won't Give Up," which is also my first dance wedding song, went 4-time multi-platinum. Bless you, honey. Absolutely elite.
52nd Street, the 6th studio album by Billy Joel, was released.
I already said this, bro.
Well, I didn't hear it.
God damn it.
You gotta enunciate.
Oh,
Jimmy Carter did a voicemail line.
On October 13th, 2017, actress Rose McGowan alleges that Harvey Weinstein inappropriately touched her.
Good grief. Hachi Machi.
All right. Well, also, Simone Biles became the most decorated gymnast in the world on that day as well. All right. And SpaceX completes their first recapture of a rocket. It always comes back to Elon, right? Oh my God. That's ridiculous. All right. We need to take a break. Like, kind of badly. All right. We're going to take a short break as KB unwinds from his escapade on all things that happened October 13th. On the other side, we're going to talk about the TGL Finals that are happening tonight and tomorrow, just teed off between the New York Golf Club and the Atlanta Drive. We'll highlight to you who's hot and who's not going into major season. And we're going to talk about probably one of the coolest pieces of paper in the world, and it belongs to a man with 2 first names. We'll be right back on Get in the Hole. I'm Steve, that's KB, and that's Ethan.
Get in the Hole is brought to you by PHI Apparel Company, our incredible merch partners. PHI Apparel Co. provides unique designs and high-quality clothing from t-shirts to hoodies for every golfer around. With their original designs for all, there's no doubt you'll stand out on the course, the driving range, or at the 19th hole. Go to phiapparel.co and use code UNDERGROUND at checkout for 10% off any order. That's code UNDERGROUND at phiapparel.co and grab exclusive Get in the Hole podcast merch and support your favorite golfers.
We're back. Ethan, how does it make you feel that all of those historical events occurred on your birthday?
I mean, I think it just means I'm set for greatness. Like I'm destined for it. Yeah.
Ed Sullivan died on Ethan's birthday, so congratulations, Ethan. You are Ed Sullivan reincarnated.
He also might be Nancy Kerrigan reincarnated.
Well, she didn't die on his birthday. They're just birthday twins.
What's the Nos line? It's like shit, what is it? A baby's being born the same time a man is murdered, the beginning and end. It's Ed Sullivan and Nancy Kerrigan. And it probably happened in close proximity of each other too, if we're being honest.
Ethan, what year were you born?
04.
Okay.
Oh my God. Have you ever seen American Idol?
Yeah.
All right, good. So you're not totally off. When I was in OL back in the day, my junior year, all of my students were it was the first generation of college kids that were born post 9/11, and none of them knew what American Idol was. And I was like, "What's wrong with you people?"
Really?
Yeah, I was shocked. I was like, this is insane to me. No one knew who Simon Cowell was. And then
Really?
someone goes, "Oh, is he the guy on America's Got Talent?" I said, "No, he's the guy on American Idol, Paula Abdul and Randy Jackson."
That's crazy.
Not the Randy Jackson with the coke problem, though, from the Jackson 5. The other Randy Jackson. I said, "It's a no from me, dog." Oh my god! All right, let's get back into the show stuff. Maybe the coolest thing I've ever read. Patrick Ryan, who's one of the biggest autograph collectors and memorabilia collectors in the world, discovered that he had a bunch of like Babe Ruth memorabilia, and he found a letterhead of just a blank piece of paper in a binder that had Babe Ruth's name and a whole lot of nothing around it. So he made it his life's mission to get an autograph of every single sports GOAT. He had Babe Ruth. He met Wayne Gretzky at an auction. He traded a 10 out of 10 rated ticket stub from the San Francisco 49ers NFC Championship game where the catch was made to Tom Brady at a Sotheby's auction in exchange for his autograph. He then got Lionel Messi's autograph as well, and he's currently working on getting everybody else's. So he has Messi, Brady, Gretzky, and Ruth. He's only missing a couple. He's missing like Serena.
Paul Rabel,
Michael Jordan, but also one Tiger Woods. Question is, does Patrick Ryan have connections to the Vanessa Trump or the Latin Kings or anybody else? Or the
you mean he's
Saudi Arabia?
Tatum because Jason Tatum's the greatest basketball player of all time.
This guy.
All right.
Brother, this guy stinks.
I feel like reality. I just muted Ethan. I feel like reality on Around the Horn. But by the way, may that show rest in peace.
Man, I gotta say, I met Tony Reale this past September at Street Lacrosse in Philadelphia.
Is he short?
No, he's actually really tall.
I could have swore if I knew nothing about this man, he was like 5'3".
He's taller than me. He's probably a good like 6'2".
Really?
Yeah, he was pretty tall. Genuinely nicest guy I've ever met.
I love that.
Like the way he is on Around the Horn, same way he is in person. He was awesome.
I have met 3 ESPN personalities in person. Actually really 4. One of them was my professor in college, but I met Chris Broussard wearing a neon green tracksuit in Penn Station.
Chris Broussard and his sources.
He was quite the interesting guy. He was getting Auntie-Anne's, and he did not want to talk to anybody. I walked into Steve Levy wearing flip-flops and a tank top with his son at the Dick's Sporting Goods at the Roosevelt Field Mall in Westbury. That was really fun. We locked eyes. It was the mutual connection of like, I know who you are, and you don't know who I am, but I know who you are, and we're just going to not acknowledge that we exist at all, and we nod our heads and walk away. That happened with Steve Levy. And then I met Bomani Jones. I was down in Florida with my brother. We were going to a Heat game, and Bomani Jones was covering for the Herald when he was working with Levitard. And I shook Bomani Jones's hand. That man has the biggest hands I've ever seen in my entire life for an averagely sized person.
I believe it.
He's like 6 foot. His hands are gigantic. There's a video or a photo of him somewhere, like his hands like this, but his fingers like go to the bridge of his head.
I remember that picture.
It's the scariest thing ever. And I didn't want to comment on it, but like Bomani. Holy crap. I love Bomani Jones, by the way. Him and Kevin Blackishaw, 2 guys who I loved, by the way, also staples on Around the Horn. TGL Championship this week, confirmed, by the way, folks who want to tune in with us. Tomorrow, 9 p.m. live stream right here from the underground. Check in. I believe it's 9 p.m., right? Or is it
7 p.m. is the first one. 9
Perfect.
p.m. is 9 p.m.'s the if needed.
Oh, perfect. All right, great. So 7:30, even better. We'll be live here, and we will watch the second round if needed.
During that, little sneak peek for the listeners, we will be doing a giveaway once a winner is crowned.
Good stuff. Love to see it. Currently, Triples are in contention. Hole 6, it's 2-2 right now between Atlanta and New York. I'm gonna buy one anyways, but if New York wins, I will 1,000% be buying a hat like ASAP. And
I want to just get the TGL branded just league hat and be like on my Rob Lowe shit.
I love the guys who wear like generic apparel. Like, I don't like Zach Hampel, but the fact that he walks around in the MLB logo hat is the funniest thing to me.
Also, I don't know if you guys have acknowledged it. The fact that the Bay have turned Minwoo Lee into like the team's like face.
I mean, how can you not? Let him cook.
Have you seen the merchandise they have for him?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Dr. Chipinski is hilarious.
No, they, you know what it is? It's kind of upsetting because it all depends on who's managing your merchandising because they're all independently ran. Like the New York Golf Club does not do a good job at like pushing out new merch. Also, I don't feel like while they are interesting people, I don't think like Xander and Ricky and Cam Young, particularly Cam Young, give off that like energetic vibe that like Minwoo Lee does, or Saith Thagala does, or Max Homa, or some other names.
Ricky in a past life. I don't know if current Ricky.
Yeah, exactly.
But I feel like Ricky of that bunch would more so than the others.
But like Ricky post child, like Father Ricky is very different than
Father Ricky
than single partying with JT on the beaches of Miami. Ricky,
three golfers walk into a church and see Father Ricky.
Honestly, also Ricky Fowler probably be most likely to be a priest of that bunch if I was to be quite honest. I saw a great tweet, speaking of Cam Young. It's like, what's the biggest waste of money ever? And it's Cam Young outrights. Someone quote tweets it. Oh my goodness. Absolutely bollocks. So championship tomorrow. We'll be tuning in to the second round and third round if necessary. Go New York Golf Club. Let's see a big win for the boys. I had no faith going into the TGL final, or just the TGL in general, knowing that Ricky wasn't in good form. Xander had his rib injury. Is it Matt Fitzpatrick who's the fourth on the team? I think it is. Fitz, he wasn't performing to his absolute best. Honestly, still hasn't. He's been really bad so far this year. And then Cam Young, like I wouldn't touch that guy with a 20-foot boat paddle. But hey, managed to upset some of the top dogs, them and Atlanta, to get to where they are. So shout out to both of them. Speaking of which, I want to talk about whomst is hot and whomst is not entering major season. Haven't done this segment in a long time. Really excited to get in to some of the names as we're only 3 weeks out from the Masters. We're so close to the peak of the golf calendar and finally hitting our stride. I want to highlight some guys who are hot, not, and I'm also adding a third category for who are the guys that are lukewarm, have showed some presence, have showed some non-presence. I want to start with the hot guys, right? So Sepp Straka is the first guy who immediately jumps into my mind as being just an absolute stud so far in recent memory. Over the last 5 weeks, he has not finished any worse. Outside of a missed cut at the Genesis, dating all the way back to his win at the American Express. He has 5 top 15s, and a 28th place finish at the Valspar. He missed the cut at the Genesis. Has been on absolute fire, playing some tremendous golf so far this year. Also want to shout out to Justin Thomas. Like I said, Justin Thomas, this was his, I think, 9th runner-up finish on tour. He's had 2 runner-ups so far this year at the Valspar, at the American Express, and at the Zozo, dating back to last year. He finished T6 at the Waste Management, T9 at the Genesis. He's clicking in all the right spots. He's had a really good run as of late. JT has been on an absolute bender. And friend of the show and friend of KB, his favorite golfer alive, Corey Connors. He's been on an absolute bender. 3 straight weeks in the top 10. Finished T8 at the Valspar, T6 at the Players, and a 3rd place finish at the Arnold Palmer. He also finished 5th at the Century at the beginning of the year. He's been in really good form. Connors won the Valero, I think, 2 years ago. Won't be surprised if he's in the field and is playing well there as well. Some lukewarm names, as we mentioned, the chef Minwoo Lee had a good week last week or 2 weeks ago. Has not managed to replicate the kind of success that we expect out of Minwoo week in and week out. But he was in contention at the Players a couple weeks ago. Played well at Torrey. I'm sorry, not Torrey Pines. At the Arnold Palmer. Sam Burns, same kind of boat, has been up and down so far this year, but has been showing some promise heading into major season. Has a couple of things to work on before he gets into form. Hasn't had a top 25 finish since the Genesis back in early February. Jordan Spieth and Cam Young, I can't really say much about them considering while Jordan had one good week in contention, Cam hasn't. Neither one of them have played particularly well, but they certainly have not been as ice cold as some of the names that I'm going to mention. Ranking them in order from where they currently are in the FedEx Cup standings. Now, might I mention top 70, get into the playoffs. Still a ton of golf to get to, but Wyndham Clark currently sitting at 75th in the FedEx Cup standings, has not played inspiring golf whatsoever over the last few weeks. Has really been struggling with his iron play. Hasn't been able to find a lot of greens. His putting has been great. His play around the green has been awesome, but the driver has not helped him either. He only has 2 top 25s in the last 6 weeks. He has a withdrawal from the Players, did not play well there. Again, only 3 top 25s the entirety of this year in 8 events. Matt Fitzpatrick Nikolai Højgaard currently sitting at 90th in the official World Golf rankings as well, and in the FedEx Cup standings has not played awe-inspiring golf. We saw him at the Masters last year, top 5 in one of the final pairings of the week. Syed Tagalo right next to him also has not been playing the absolute best that he could be, and everyone's expecting a lot more out of him. Has one finish inside of the top 20 the entirety of the year. It's been a rough go as of late for Syed Tagala. Xander Schauffele has been dealing with the rib injury. I understand that, so I'm not going to give him a lot of slack. However, these last 2 names have really shown that they have not simply had it the entire year. Matt Fitzpatrick, 2 cuts this year, 2 top 25 finishes, and 2 cuts outside, barely cracking the top 50. He's all the way back at 110th in the FedEx Cup standings. And then finally, how can we talk about who is not hot without mentioning one Max Homa, who has managed to fall all the way to 177th in the Data Golf standings. He's 153rd in the FedEx Cup standings right now. He has not finished inside of the top 25 the entirety of the year, and he has missed 4 straight cuts.
Oof.
Has not been a good run for Max Homa. Nothing seems to be working for him. The last 4 weeks, he's lost upwards of 2 3/4 strokes gained total. It's a lot of really approach play. If you look at his numbers here, I'll actually pull them up because they're fascinating to look at and kind of get a assessment on. Let's see if we can pull these bad boys up. Yeah, so these are his numbers over the last month, right? These last 4 weeks have been just absolutely atrocious. A lot of red on the board. It's like I'm seeing more red here than I've been seeing in the stock market since January. It has not been a good look for Max Homa whatsoever. And it shows even dating back. We mentioned it last year, right? Wasn't having the best of form and the best run. I think 2 years ago, he had something like 20 top 15 finishes. And you see it if you date all the way back, but has the tied for 14th at the Nedbank, which is all the way on the DP World Tour out in Africa. The Memorial, he played well, but hasn't had good form since May of last year. And just, again, a lot of red right here on approach. His chart is all around the average on tour or below average. And just this fall from grace, right? From his peak, February 5th of 24, is 8th in the Data Golf standings, to dip all the way down to 177th. Just a huge drop off for somebody who should be a top player year in and year out in Max Homa. It's been a very rough go for him as of late. It's tough.
It's rough. Can I give you a good laugh here? Nice little funny quote tweet. Not the event, but the quote tweet is great.
We could use one because Max Homa was almost contemplating quitting golf recently because of how bad he's been playing.
This is from at 5 Goats on Twitter, which is part of the On3 network. Richard Childress forced his way into a police escort and, quote, destroyed the side of a JGR car leaving Homestead, Miami, per Denny Hamlin. Quote, Richard, he just stayed in the gas. I mean, hung a left on them and just doored the shit out of our car. To which my good friend Jay Arnold, who does great college football content, NASCAR content for Apollo Houston, former Aggie football player as well. He also went viral a couple of years ago for eating mayo at the Duke's Mayo Bowl in the stands. Just quote tweeted that tweet with just a gif of Scotty Scheffler.
It's crazy. Absolutely insane. Let's get into
on his Scotty shit.
Scotty's been what a story with what he's done. By the way, I found a guy on Twitter for you to follow. No free ads, but he only has 1,500 followers, and he has guessed 4 straight outrights correct on the PGA Tour. He bet Russell Henley 2 weeks ago at the Arnold Palmer. He bet Rory after round 3 at the Players, and he bet Hovland at plus 355 after round 3 yesterday. His if you want to follow him, is at Steve P. Bets. He also bets a lot on the NBA and on the UFC. He has not posted his bets for this week, but I'll almost certainly be getting involved. I'm going to try and see if he can come on the show and give us some good spots. Might be our new golf bets guy for every single week. But let's get into some beer money picks. KB, I'll let you take the ad read because I'm so tired from the first half.
We love Kenwood Beer here at Underground Sports Philadelphia, baby. It's the official beer partner of the network. It's a refreshing light beer, just 4.1% ABV, 120 calories, just 8 grams of carbs. You guys can go to kenwoodbeer.com and use the Kenny tracker to see who's got Kenwood Beer on tap in the Philadelphia, New Jersey, Maryland, Pittsburgh, and Delaware areas. You can also find Kenwood Beer at your local liquor stores in those markets. Again, that's kenwoodbeer.com. Use that Kenny tracker to see who's got Kenny's on tap in your area. Must be 21 or older to do so. And of course, guys, please drink, celebrate, and gamble responsibly.
You know, no one told me the Jonas Brothers were hosting Jonas Fest at the American Dream Mall yesterday.
Someone I know was there and got them to sing the song that she walked down the aisle to.
That's sick.
Yeah.
They also bought out Big Time Rush, who, by the way, saw them live in concert. Actually, really good for a group that I have been a fan of, I guess you could say, when I was a little kid. Like, was one of those first reality show Nick shows that I was really into.
Steve, today I was also years old when I realized this is just a shout out to everybody in general. March is Problem Gambling Awareness Month.
That's great to know for all the March Madness people who say, fuck that shit, we're betting.
So
sorry, I just made light of something that was supposed to be really wholesome and nice.
I did just realize that is the month of March. So if you do need, there is a number, guys. There is a number, and genuinely, I know people who have had to call said number. So if you need to call the number, but gamble responsibly.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely imperative. And I mean, look, I know that I am not a huge gambler. I'll gamble at times. This is one of the very few times in my life where I will gamble a lot. Just because life's a little more fun in March when you have skin in the game. But my goodness, it's definitely. If you need it, you need it. Let's jump right in. Top 20s this week at the Houston Open, one of the more underrated events on the PGA Tour calendar. Municipal Golf Course out at the Houston Links. The Texas Children's Houston Open loaded field this week. Kind of, sort of, not really. When you look at the odds board, it's kind of funny when you check it out. The discrepancy between the top 2 players and everybody else is enormous. KB, I'm not sure if you've taken a look at it yet.
Yep, I got it right in front of me right now. It's pretty wild.
Scotty plus 350, Rory plus 7, and then Aaron Rye, the man with 2 gloves, 28-1, riding up the rear absolutely insane for a 3-man race at the top. The fact that you can't get Scotty or Rory for a top 20 is like insane. Scotty's minus 500 for a top 20. You can pair him with like Duke to win the Final Four.
That's
Which,
absurd.
by the way, we're gonna have to do a 3-leg bet for like underdogs in this round with a winner of this event.
Just like we did last time.
Yeah. And you know who I think our play is going to be?
Arkansas.
No, it's Calipari.
Tyler
Perry. Oh my God. Lakers in 5.
Platypus named Perry?
No, I think our play might be Tony Finau.
To win or?
I don't know. I mean, Wyndham Clark hasn't played well. Aaron Rise had a solid couple of weeks. Michael Kim has been really good. But I don't know if I tab Michael Kim to win this event. I might tweet at Michael Kim and be like, "Hey, Mike, you gonna win this week?" And if he tells me yes, then I'll bet on him.
Hey, Tony Finau is a winner without, like we did last week.
Oh
is
my
plus
God.
2,500.
Now, but so here's the problem with winner without, right? He needs to finish second.
Correct.
If one of those guys win. The problem is, though, I believe he has to finish solo second.
Correct. Well, he has to finish ahead of those guys. So he would technically have to finish third because this week it's winner without Rory and Scotty.
Well, assuming Rory and Scotty finish first.
Correct.
But he needs to finish solo second. If he ties, he loses.
Correct.
Which is the caveat of the bet.
It's a great live bet. For what it's worth.
Top 20. I'm going to go. By the way, you had a great week.
I saw that.
You beat me on some of my plays. I think I got one. I was really upset. My 3-leg parlay. Lowry hit. Was Lowry who hit? Connors hit, and then Sepp Straka finished 28th. Just came up shy. Lucas Glover finished 8th. I tapped him for a 5th place finish. So KB, the early 2-1 lead on me for the early year bets.
So give me a refresher. How do we score the points? Is it just one per?
Yeah, it's one
correct answer. Okay.
I mean, if you win, we can go with 2. If we live bet, we can technically we can credit you with some bets.
Yeah, I should get the Victor Hovland live bet. No, but
Gretzky Betsky.
Yeah, good win there. So what did I have? I had JT top 5 and.
Last week, you captured Corey Connors with your gimme pick for a top 20. And you also captured JT top 5. I captured a Bud Cauley top 20.
That was a good call by you.
That was Bud Cauley played great last 2
weeks. Good Cauley by you.
Been on absolute fire. Leading off with a top 20 this week. I mean, we got to drive down this list to try and find some success. Let's find something good here. Dare I say I go with a Texas native if he's in the field this week? I don't believe he is in the field this week. That's totally fine. I'm cool with it. I'm going to go at plus 170. I'll go Jason Day for a top 20 performance.
I am going to go top 20. I'm going to run it back. Give me Sahith Theegala.
Sahith needs a good week.
Plus 2/3 on DraftKings.
Needs a good week as he approaches Masters Week. Top 10 for myself. Ooh. Do I go Minwoo? Do I go Siwoo? Do I go Sanjay? Municipal golf course. Driving is really important. Keeping it straight is important. I'm going to go Mav McNeely. A wild plus 450 for top 10.
Minwoo, Siwoo, anywho, Lakers at 5.
Lakers at 5.
I'm going to go even more bold than your plus 450, you said, was your pick?
Yeah.
I like the way that this guy is playing right now, and I might even like him as a sprinkle to finish top 5 as well, but I love his odds at top 10 at plus 650, Steve. I'm dropping the hammer on Seamus Power.
I dig it. Good rock solid play there. My top 5. You know what? Let's ride the hot hand. Let's go with somebody who's been playing some pretty inspiring golf over the last few weeks and has been playing some great action. Michael Kim for a top 5 plus 700. He's been on fire. I love it. I love Michael Kim. He's a great follow on Twitter. He's somebody that I'm looking out for this week. Top 5.
Top 5. I'm gonna go with the Melbourne man himself, Jason Day, plus 750.
Solid play. Let's see. So I got on top 20. You got on top 5. Should be able to capture the top 20. Could go for a big top 5. My gimme play this week, I'm digging all the way down on this odds board. Somebody who needs a strong week, needs to get things going, but could definitely play some pretty rock solid golf. Give him the situation. Older player, but a Texas native, and I was looking at him earlier for a top 20. For some reason, these guys always play well in Texas. Charlie Hoffman, top, what number is that? 30 at plus 350.
Not bad, not bad. I like this player in multiple situations. If you don't feel as confident as me, I understand. I'm going to give you his top 40 finish first, and then I will give you the corresponding odds for top 30, top 20, and top 10.
Oh, my goodness.
The way he played this weekend was very impressive to me, and I think he can build upon it. So this isn't my gimme pick, but this is not bad if you're not as confident as me. At minus 150 to finish top 40, Jacob Bridgman. His top 30 odds are plus 115.
Not bad.
But if you're like me, I'm liking his top 20 finish odds. Jacob Bridgman to finish top 20 at plus 200. I think that's money
solid
in the bank. And if you like him even more than I do, his top 10 is plus 400 and his top 5 is plus 900. He was a top 5 finisher this past weekend. Maybe he replicates it, but I love him at top 20 at plus 200.
Yeah, no, playing some really good golf so far early in the year. Has managed to really grow his game, particularly in the last few weeks. Let me look at his numbers because we've seen him again. He's had 3 out of 4 weeks. He's finished in the top 15, finished 15th at the Arnold Palmer, 2nd at the Cognizant, and a 3rd here at the Valspar. He's had a really good Florida swing so far to date. My winning pick, I need to see what his recent results have been. And I mentioned him earlier. And I don't know if I am sold on him yet. Let's see. What has he done? He has not done much. Crap. You know what? Maybe Tony Finau isn't the pick to win this.
I like Tony Finau at top 5, though. I'll be honest.
I do agree with you on that. I agree there.
Don't second guess yourself.
You know, the last time I second guessed myself, I took the Illini money line. Actually, you know what? This is a really good play because he's had a really good stretch, and we just simply haven't been talking about it. To win the event, he lost to Rory a couple of weeks ago, and he's probably determined to himself that he will never do it again. At 30-1, JJ Spawn. Now, if you remember, JJ Spawn won the Valero to get into the Masters last year, 2 years ago, one of the two. Was literally was out of the Masters field, needed to get a win, went 3 holes, birdie, and made the Masters. That was 2 years ago. Houston Open, very similar golf course at the Houston Memorial Golf Course. This is a spot that he can certainly do some big things. And if he sees Rory up at the top of the leaderboard, he is going to make sure that Rory does not oust him once more. JJ Spawn, 30-1. Give me that.
Looking here real quick. Can you remind me? Did I said Jason Day was my top 5, correct?
Indeed, you did.
Okay, he's actually plus 600 for top 5.
Oh my gosh.
So my winner, I mean, it's rare you can get Scotty at plus odds. It's nice. I would say, just in a gambling sense, put money at plus 350 on Scotty Scheffler. Like that's a no-brainer. But if we're going to exclude Scotty and potentially Rory, because I don't really trust Rory in this tournament, to be honest.
Are you going to play a winner without bet right now?
I mean,
you could do it.
Who did you pick as your winner again? Remind me. I'm sorry.
JJ Spawn.
Okay.
I see you eyeing Finau or Minwoo.
I'm gonna go Tony Finau plus 3K. Can I just read off something that's like comically hilarious?
Please.
So let's see. It doesn't let me do it. So my top 20, let me actually remove that and put this in. I'm just like building a fun parlay here for the people. Why? That's so strange that it doesn't let you include top fives in a parlay. But anywho, I just built a 3-leg parlay of my top 20, my top 10, and my gimme pick of the week, which was top 20. Where did he go? Here he is. Jacob Bridgman is now plus 170 actually at top 20 for top finish. Why is it not? It was just giving me a parlay. I'm very annoyed right now. This is such great podcasting. Here we go.
This is such great podcasting.
So, Sahith Theegala, top 20. Jacob Bridgman, top 20. Seamus Power, top 10. 3-leg parlays plus 7,325.
You should also lay... Yeah, you should totally lay the over at 175.5 BYU and Alabama. That's an NBA game right there. They're going to shoot a million points.
Also, for reference to, this is on DraftKings, no free ads, but the top finish tab, you can get Scotty to finish top 5 at minus 105.
That's just free money at that point.
That's free money.
You're just printing it.
Hammer that.
And he hasn't even played great golf so far this year. I wouldn't say it's a free bet, but like
it's close to.
Yeah, it's as close to with the field that you can get. I would love to parlay a top 20 pick. I love this this Jason Day top 20 that I have at like just over plus money. If you were to lay that with a couple of college basketball plays for Thursday, we got BYU. All right, so we got Bama.
I can't bet that game. It's in Newark.
Oh, you can't bet it because it's there?
Yeah, I can't bet any game that takes place in New Jersey.
So what is it? Only BYU, Bama, and then Duke, Arizona, or is there any other ones?
I can't bet those games.
I would personally throw the plus 6.5 on the Crab 5
so
in Maryland.
Dumb. So dumb. We just talked about the Crab 5 too.
I would lay the points plus 6.5 for the Crab 5 against Florida. Believe it or not, I like Calipari plus 5.5 against Tech. Tech's going to want to turn into a track meet. I feel like Arkansas knows how to slow pace down. A double-digit seed has made the Elite Eight every time of the last 8 years. So someone's got to do it, and they're the only double-digit seed left. I hate the Kentucky-Tennessee matchup. I think Auburn's going to murder Michigan. I lay the 8.5. I would also lay the 8.5 on Houston over Purdue. At
Ole
this
Miss
point,
plus 2.5 is pretty nice. The way them boys is shooting the rock.
I do like Ole Miss, but like when Izzo gets this far in the tournament, he doesn't stop. It's Izzo's march every time.
Well, for reference, I put the Arkansas plus 5.5, Maryland plus 6.5, plus my 3 golfers.
What is it like?
It's a plus 27,200 parlay.
So $1 wins you what? $2,000.
$1 wins you $273.
You know what? We call it beer money for a reason. It's a pizza and beer money bet. In the words of one Nick Costos, you got to do it.
That would be
you got to do it for
insane.
the brand. That's gonna do it all. Yes.
Could you imagine if that's like part of my winnings of March Madness?
I would actually murder you.
That'd be insane.
Because then there's me in the corner with no money, and I'm like, I'm gonna look like Squidward in that one episode of SpongeBob. Spare change, and then the police repo the box,
and then SpongeBob's like, "How about you get a job?"
Do you know that's a American Psycho reference?
Yes, it's fantastic. SpongeBob's goated. Steve, we're going to be in person on Thursday.
Oh, baby. It's going to be so nice, right?
First time since the wedding?
Yeah. Are we going to do an Angelo's mukbang?
We might have to hit a couple spots because we're going to be in range.
We're also going to be in range of basketball games, and therefore
exactly.
live beer money presented by FOCO.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
God, bring the charger, bring the phones, bring the GoPros. We're going all in. That's going to do it all for us here. KB and I will be live on scene, on location at the Philadelphia Cricket Club this Thursday for Media Day for the Truist Championship. We'll tap in and let you guys know how that goes. Of course, Ethan will be joining us when we go to the Truist in May. Awesome stuff. Looking forward to that. But before we look ahead to the future, of course, want to shout out all of our awesome partners for sponsoring this episode: Acorn Hills, 47 brand Paramount Plus, beer, Kenwood Beer, and the like. Of course, follow, like, subscribe on all of our socials at Getting the Whole Pod: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, wherever you can find us, and on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Be sure to check out the links on our descriptions. Leave a comment and a 5-star rating. Really helps the engagement on the platform and continues to grow our exposure into the world of golf and beyond. We are the 69th #nice ranked golf podcast in the world. I mean, we could certainly get even better than that. So be sure to check us out on all the socials.
Live tomorrow night too.
And live tomorrow night for our live stream. We'll be on location on Thursday. Angelo's mukbang, probably a beer tasting. I'm going to buy Kenwood Beer in Philadelphia. It's going to be a shit show, and I cannot wait. We're going from 6:30 in the morning. I'm leaving New York, and we are going to ride all day long. It's going to be absolutely epic. Take it easy, folks. Enjoy the. Thanks for listening to Get in the Hole, the official golf podcast of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Catch us every week wherever you get your favorite podcasts, and be sure to like and subscribe on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Get in the Hole Pod, and follow Underground Sports Philadelphia at Underground PHI. We'll see you next time. And remember, get in the hole!